Back in Pet's Corner, Head of Section Darren Beasley is about to serve lunch to his African Dungbeetle Hercules. Until now, Hercules has shown a distinct preference for fruit, which is fine from a nutritional point of view, but since these beetles dine on dung in the wild, Darren's offering him what should be a gourmet treat: fresh rhino droppings.
I'm just going to pick him up off his water bowl for a minute. Go on, my old fruit. There we are. I'll leave him on the surface just for a moment. I expect these little tentacles here, these little antennae, they're what's sensing hopefully the smell, because it certainly does whiff. So if he's at all interested in this dung, and I'm going to be proved wrong, then he should. If I put some of this down, oh, things I do for these wee beasties. Warm and wet. There we are, my friend. What Hercules should be doing now is he should be racing towards this big pile of damp dung, because obviously he would eat that in the wild. Well, he wouldn't actually eat all the grass fibres and hay fibres. What they do is rather horrible, I'm afraid. They get big mouthfuls and they sort of cham it up and they slurp up the juice of the poo.
I can't imagine why, but Hercules seems to have lost his appetite. In Africa, these beetles not only eat dung, but they also use it as part of a mating ritual, rolling it into balls.
I've got a homemade dung ball here. There we are. And he would make something almost as big as that, actually, for this particular one. And what he would do is he'd rear up and he'd push this around. He'd find himself a lady dung beetle and he'd offer it to her. And if she liked him, she would go off and they would roll the dung off into the sunset and bury it, and that's where they lay their eggs. Oh, well, he's just literally climbing on it now, but I don't think I'm going to have to watch very closely. I don't think he's gonna eat it. No, he's just walking over the top of it. So what he's doing is it's just an interesting object, so he's just going to walk on around it, I think. He's not that bothered. At the moment, as you can see here, he's walking away from it. And it does so. I don't blame him at all. He's trying to get that body as far away from there as possible.
So, despite all Darren's efforts, it looks like Hercules will be sticking with the soft fruit after all. But Darren's hatching a new plan.
It may be, perhaps, because he hasn't got a female to impress. So he's got an alternative food supply in the fresh fruit, but he doesn't want to roll the dung balls because he hasn't got a girlfriend to roll the dung ball too. What we'd like to do now is we'd like to obviously get some more dung beetles, particularly just one really would be good for a start with, to pair up with this old fella. And you never know, if he did roll a ball of dung and he did, you know, dig a hole, or he did eat dung, I suppose, it's interesting to see, it's interesting for us to talk about. So our next stage, hopefully, we're going to get some more dung beetles and make it a bit more interesting, a bit more lively, so we don't have the world's only fruit-eating dung beetle in our collection.